What makes relationships last?
Our relationship has had its ups and downs, but what we've found is good communication holds everything together.
We decided to dedicate time every week to not only strengthen our relationship, but stimulate personal growth.
Strong relationships are built on strong communication.
Welcome to Date Night Conversations.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Date Night Conversations. I'm Chantel.
And I'm Greg.
And guys, in this video, Greg and I are going to ask each other 3 random questions we have never asked each other before.
I always say it. I'm always looking forward to these date night conversations. I love these questions. I just love the way they make you think on a deeper level and the conversations they stimulate.
Yes, and what's also really fascinating is we get to interact with our viewers to give us a different perspective on the answers to some of these questions.
Absolutely. So guys, please let us know your responses to these questions also.
Drop a comment down below. All right, babe, you ready to get into it?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. All right, babe. So ladies first?
Yep, you're up.
All right, guys, let's see what we got. First question. What were the 3 biggest turning points in your life?
3 biggest turning points in my life.
Yes.
1 was definitely breaking up with my ex.
Okay.
Like my relationship before you. There was some sort of this weird weight that was released that I didn't even know was there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very life-changing. Because we tried being friends. We were split up and we were still like trying to be friends, and I thought everything was okay for about a year and a half after the separation. And it wasn't until it was completely like, no, it's time you go your way, I'm going my way. And there was like, the friendship had to go. It was the first night I slept peacefully and woke up feeling like, wow, you can sleep and wake up feeling like this. Like, it was one of those nights, I don't know if you've had a sleep like this, where you go to sleep in your bed, you lay down and you wake up and the bed is still perfectly made. Like you slept in that position all night. And when I woke up, it was like the sun was shining through the window and I woke up feeling wide awake, like perfectly rested. It was like, and that sort of was that I knew I did the right thing and everything was going the right way. So that was a huge one. That was definitely like a turning point in my life. Another time was meeting you, and that sort of flowed off. Like there, again, it's that these are like the most positive feelings, the best I've physically felt. So that was one, and I felt amazing meeting you. And then that's just sort of like, was very uplifting. And I still get flashbacks to the early times with us and how that feels. Like the way you look at me brings you right back to the way you looked at me like day one. And
aw, you recognize 100%. That?
Yeah. And I keep telling you, like, it's just the way my friend who has passed away, I would tell him, it's the way she looks at me. I can feel her when she looks at me.
Thanks.
And you still do that.
I don't even know I'm doing it. It's so organic. Like, I just love looking at you. Like, I love looking at you.
But I can feel you when you look at me that way. You still do, like, from day one, almost 10 years later. And I think the third one was going back to school. So I went back to school at 30 to college into the paramedic program. And I knew I was the oldest one in the class. They didn't know I was the oldest one in the class. And it's funny who they assumed these younger guys were the oldest ones in the class, but that was a very different experience. And I am so appreciative of that. Like I learned so much more than just the intended programming to graduate, but what you learn from that college experience and the people I've met and the network that was built, like that was really important. And I still use that stuff to today. So I think those are the 3 main turning points in my life. Yes.
Okay. So for me, I think one major turning point in my life was just wanting to finish school early, high school early. Okay. I didn't have a really clean past. I was like a troubled child. I really don't know why I had a lot of the anger I had and why I acted out the way I did, but I did. And then I remember getting into high school and taking summer courses and looking at my final year of high school and saying, oh, all I need is 6 credits. I can achieve this before that time.
So was it something clicked and said, I just want to get this over with?
I just didn't want to be in school anymore.
You didn't want to be in school? So
no.
Something was like, how do I get out of here faster?
Early, yeah. So I fast-tracked. So I graduated in my grade 11th year. And I remember just planning my life. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this course here, this course here, this here. Then I'm going to finish at 17. Okay, and then at 17, I'm going to go to this school. I'm going to become a nurse. And then I'm going to buy a house. And I'm going to do that. And I started just like planning my life. And although it didn't go as linear as my plan may seem,
pretty close.
It was pretty close. And then it, like what you said, you taught me like, then what, and then that's what happened. I finished, I graduated nursing school, I got my master's. I'm like, now what? Now I'm like, no, now I don't want to do nursing as much anymore. Now I want to do something bigger and better. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to do this. I want to do that. So I was always just growing. But that was the first biggest turning point for me, was to finish school early and get out of high school. So I started taking night school courses, summer school courses to accomplish that within 3 years. The next biggest turning point for me was having Amaya, because I was 19 when I got pregnant with her, and me and her dad are having a rocky relationship. We were kids back then, like we're so young, right? So we really didn't know what we wanted. The relationship was not stable, and then here comes Amaya into an unstable relationship, which was kind of nice at the end because we co-parent so well, and time has passed, time heals all wounds, and I'm really close to his family, he's close to my mom, so like we all can work together, which is awesome. But yes, Amaya was the second biggest turning point for me, because I'm a young mom, new mom, first child. The third biggest turning point of my life was meeting you, because then that's what took my mindset to a different level and helped me become who I am today. So those are my 3 biggest turning points.
Okay, those are good.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Those are significant, yeah, because like turning points, it's not just going to be like this, this, and this. You gotta talk those out a little bit.
Significant things that really start to change your life. So,
sure.
All right, guys, so that's our answers. We're going to throw the question back to you, but let's read the question one more time.
What were the 3 biggest turning points in your life?
All right, guys, you know what to do. Drop a comment down below. All right, babe, so we are now moving on to question number 2, and you're up.
All right, question number 2. How has your childhood or upbringing shaped your sexuality?
Okay, so first thing that comes to mind is like I'm a very private person, so I'm not very like out there like showing my goodies or anything like that. Like growing up, I was always taught to like keep these things between me, myself, and my partner. Just coming from a very like conservative family, like my parents weren't really out there, I wasn't out there. You know, in a change room, even though girls would, you know, get changed comfortably in front of other females, I wouldn't. I'd still put like a towel, or I'd go into a stall.
Okay.
Like I was very private in that sense.
Yeah.
But anyways, how about you?
No, I think that's sort of the direction that question goes. How has your childhood or upbringing shaped your sexuality? I was like similar. If I'm changing in a change room, I would cover myself with a towel. Mm-hmm. And I would almost change like under the towel. I wasn't going to just be
free.
and but the thing is, that's how my dad changed me in the change room. Like my dad would take me swimming when I was a kid.
Same with my parents.
And so he would put a towel, like you get dried off, put a towel around me, take my shorts off, put my underwear on, and then take the towel off.
Yeah.
Like so that he taught me that the same thing, that you keep it between yourself and your partner.
Right. It's kind of.
I don't know. So I'm not one that's like super out there.
Right.
And yeah, like the same with you. I appreciate that you keep your goodies, as you call them, between you and me. And like, I don't mind you like in a bikini and stuff. Like you've been on stage, you're a competitor. Me too. I've been on stage in trunks.
Yeah.
Like,
trunks wearing, like, only.
Yeah, it's just like the equivalent to like a Speedo, like bodybuilding competition, and you're doing figure, which is a branch, it's kind of like a bikini. Sorry,
babe, I just want to interrupt. Even being in a bikini on stage in front of people, it was so out of my element, right? From what I'm used to. So,
100%. Even like myself also. Yeah. My first time, like you're putting this on, it's a little, just enough to cover your basically your package and your crack. Here. Now you're going to go stand in front of a couple hundred people.
Yeah.
Have at her.
Go do it.
So the first time I did it on my own. I didn't have a coach or any support. So there's this huge, like you're self-conscious. Like nobody's seen me like this. So it's equivalent to like being in my underwear, basically. Now I'm doing it on stage. So you feel kind of a thing, but it's the appropriate attire
for that setting. Yeah,
exactly.
Totally hear what you're saying.
I wouldn't just
walk around.
Yeah, because I know there's guys like there's bodybuilders that they'll just go swimming and stuff like that's their. If they're going to the pool, they're wearing their posing trunks. Never. I'm still wearing like full board shorts, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we still maintain that level of privacy that our parents taught us. We still want to be that way.
Think that. So yeah, that would be it. So the childhood upbringing has definitely
shaped the way we were. Yeah.
Influence for sure. Okay.
All right, guys. So that's our answer. Let's throw the question back to you guys, but I'll read it one more time. How has your childhood upbringing shaped your sexuality? All right, guys. Let us know. You know what to do. Drop a comment down below.
Yeah, I'm curious, like a different take on that question, perhaps.
Yeah.
If there's another way of looking at it. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
That's our go-to.
All right. So now we're at the final question.
Last question.
Last question.
And it's yours.
Me? Okay. Yeah. All right, guys. Last question. In what ways are you like your parents?
In what ways are you like your parents? Okay, I'm sure that there are ways that I'm like my parents. And my mom might say you're just like your father, or my dad might say you're just like your mother.
Have they ever said that?
No. I don't think so. I think when I had my beard grow in was the closest thing to my mom saying, "Oh, you look like your father." And she thought I genuinely looked like my dad when he was younger.
Okay. So
that's the closest to ways that I'm like my parents. I think I'm very different from my parents. Both of them. At the same time, I'm sure there are aspects. I'm just trying to think. My mom, I think, is more, how would I say? She's like kind in the sense that she looks out for everybody, wants to make sure everybody's okay. Mm-hmm. She like checks on the kids, how's everybody doing, and that sort of a thing. Yeah, so she's always thinking about everybody. When it comes to like family, I believe I'm similar. So I want to make sure
everyone's taken care of.
Yeah. My dad, when he was younger, like when I was younger, he was more disciplinary, and I know I have some aspect of that in me still, not to the extent that he did, but I know that there's an aspect there. Man, I found myself ranting about politics the other day. My dad used to do that. I remember that when I was a kid. But for the most part, I think I was able to take away the things that, like I learned a lot from my parents, and take the things that I found beneficial, leave the things that I didn't, and change them to help work with today's society. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know how else to say that. I'm definitely more lenient with the kids than my dad was. You don't even know my parents enough to...
Yeah, like, not really. I don't...
Like, there's no real personality thing that comes out, like, in either of them that you're like, oh man, you're just like your mom in that way, you're just like your dad in that way.
Right.
Right. No, so it would be like subtle features.
Yeah, because I don't know your dad enough to say that, and then your mom is just kind, like she's just her own person, and so are you. So
yeah, there you go. In what ways am I like my dad? We have the same facial hair, and I'm like thinning out, and he's bald.
But no, however, like when you were young, when your dad was younger, you can see the good genetic genes. You guys really do look alike because your dad's very handsome back in the day. So that's a way, I think. Anyway, okay. So for me, how am I like my parents? My mom is very independent, and if you upset her, she'll go off. And I feel like I can be very much like that. My dad can go off too. He's very irritable, and I feel like I can be like that too. And my dad is very particular, so things have to be in an organized manner, his organized manner. Even if it looks like a chaotic mess, he knows where everything is. And if you touch anything or not put it back, he loses it, because he likes to be able, if he put the pen here and it's a mess on the table, but he put the pen right dead center there within his mess, and he goes somewhere and he comes back to use that pen and that pen's not there, you're using it, he's gonna flip. Like you have to put it back. And I find I'm very much like that. It bothers me when people disrupt my flow and don't put things that they use back in its place where I put it. So independence, and I can be kind of OCD My dad's a little bit OCD, and I find
I
him
can
like
totally
that.
see that from both your. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
that's it really for me.
That was easy.
Yeah. All right, guys, so that's our answer. We're going to throw the question back to you, but let's read it one more time.
All right. In what ways are you like your parents?
All right, guys, let us know. You know what to do. Drop a comment down below. All right, guys, so that was Date Night Conversations episode 69.
69.
Yes, and counting. Guys, we are looking forward to interacting with you, so please drop a comment down below. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye.